Guys, our next guest is the talk of the town. As thanks to him, it looks like UFC Perth in February will have a genuine super fight between him and the new UFC lightweight champion, Islam Makhachev. UFC featherweight champion, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter walking this earth, and most importantly, the king of Wollongong, Alex the Great Volkanovski. Man, thank you so much for taking the time out and coming back on Submission Radio. How are you?
I'm good, mate. No worries. Thanks for having me. I know it's been a while since we've been trying to tee this up, so I'm glad we could get it done.
Yeah. Really appreciate it. And I know you don't have a lot of time, Volko, so we're going to sort of get straight into it. You've just gotten back, obviously, from Abu Dhabi, the massive trip. I have to ask straight away, you were in attendance, you knew you wanted the winner next, but what went through your mind when Khabib, of all people, actually called your name, called you out in the cage and said they wanted to fight you, here, taking the fight to you in Australia? How did that moment compare to sort of what you expected? Because you knew you wanted that winner.
Yeah, man. I wanted to fight, obviously the winner. And perfect world, I was like, fighting in Australia would be incredible. But the chances it happened, I wasn't too sure. I didn't know how active Islam wanted to be. So before they fought, I was literally going for whoever I thought would fight me early next year, honestly. So I was thinking Charles would want to be a little more active. So I'm thinking, I think I want Charles because I know he will fight me next year. Even though I might be in Rio, at least I know I'm fighting next year. And with Islam, I wasn't sure. Even though he did mention about Australia, I didn't think it was going to be serious. So I didn't know how to feel about that whole situation. But that's why I went there. That's why I did all that. As I said, perfect world. The ideal situation was me going there, me, solidifying myself as the next guy to fight for that title, and then hopefully fight him in Australia. And that's exactly what we got. And even better, we had Khabib called me out. We went inside the octagon, done the face-off, which was not planned. So it was just incredible. What a way to set up a massive super fight in Australia, giving the Aussie fans exactly what they deserve.
Yeah, exactly, man. And just quickly, obviously, I know you were prepared to go in there and fight Charles or Islam, but was a part of you sort of relieved that, hey, I'm not fighting him at UFC 280. I get to do this in Perth at this huge card in February instead?
Oh, of course. You know what I mean? Of course. Well, you want your own promotion. Look, we're already starting to build the fight up already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is what you want, right? You wanted to have that promotion and everything just around the main event. You know what I mean? Like how it's meant to be. Not come in on a couple of days' notice.
And potentially have to fight two guys.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not the most ideal situation, but I mean, that's just the guy I am. I'll put myself in that position. I'll take all the risks just to make sure I'm next. I don't have enough time to wait around. You know what I mean? If someone else took my spot as backup fighter, they're probably next. Then I've got to wait for them to fight. And then who knows when I'm fighting for that lightweight title. I don't want to wait around. I want to get to work. This is why I put myself in that position. A lot of people, they're going to think you're mad to put yourself in that position. But again, that's what separates me from everybody else.
I love the moment, right? Because so many times you know who's next, or you have an inkling who's next, and you think, man, it'd be so cool if they got in the cage and they did it. You had DC and Brock Lesnar, you had a whole bunch of them. But this just happened, and it was organic, and it was so cool. Even the way Khabib got involved. But I wonder, man, I know you guys were respectful, but what was it actually like standing so close to Islam? I don't know if you got a chance to size him up in any way. And I know you just always said to us that he's really big on that first face-off. He and I know this wasn't a proper face-off, looking into each other's eyes, but I'm just wondering if you gauged anything or just in general, what was it like, being in there with Islam?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I guess I didn't look into it too much. Yeah, so again, these guys are, obviously sitting there going, no, short guy. It's probably, it's funny. He's probably seen me filled out a little bit, probably looked at me and goes, oh, he's not as small as I actually thought, even though, again, I'm not the biggest dude. But I don't know. I obviously, when I'm looking at him, he just looks like another man. Again, these guys don't look big to me. This is what I'm used to. These are the guys I train with all the time. Is he a very good grappler, a strong wrestler? Yeah, he is. But I've been wrestling and grappling with guys twice the size of me forever, even bigger than him. You know what I mean? So the sizing up, I guess it's good to just be in that moment again, to get more of get a feel for everything. I got to feel fight week with these guys. I got to feel a bit of that octagon presence in the, you know what I mean, with him. So I can look at it that way. So I've seen it before, you know what I mean? Yeah, we weren't in the cage, punching each other in the face, but I mean, I still got that feel, you know what I mean? I still got to like sort of sense it, even gave me like a little buzz, like, yeah, how good's this? You know what I mean? I'm excited, man. I'm pumped for this. You got no idea. Like, all of that just added to the fire, mate. Like, that little face off thing, it just got me so much more keen and made it so much more real that this is about to happen. And now I've got a real feeling, and I can't wait to go out there and do it.
I feel it, Alex. I think we all and anyone who watched it feels the same way. I have to ask you, man, like on that short guy comment, because he was saying it sort of all week, and I feel like that's kind of like, that's going to be used in promo tools and stuff. What goes through your mind when he refers to you as, the short guy? Because I watched your great reaction video on your YouTube channel, who, by the way, if people haven't seen it, they need to subscribe to your channel because it's great. But when you spoke about it, you kind of made this face and you laughed it off. But I also feel like it's something that you've kind of heard all your life, and it's just kind of shit that you have to put up with. I could see that sort of in your eyes. And it actually reminded me of Israel Adesanya with like Derek Brunson, when he's like, you're too skinny, you're the skinny guy,
Yeah.
And we all kind of have that stuff, right? And I just wonder, like, historically, what do you kind of tap into when you hear something like that? Does it put a sort of chip on your shoulder? Does it kind of, I don't want to say motivate you extra, because of course you're motivated, but like, what's the kind of history there? Because we all have that thing that we grew up and people gave us shit, and it's like something that you want to almost, overcome, or it does something. What does it do to you, man?
Well, let's be real, mate. I'm not going to let little comments like that get to me. Like, so that's not going to hurt my feelings at all. But I mean, in saying that, like you said, there's the history of this. This has happened before. People are like, oh no, short guys. Like, what, you think that last 25 people I beat didn't think that? The last 25 people didn't say, even half, a lot of them even saying that, and I kicked the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you're just saying something that everyone else has done. I beat the piss out of him anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, obviously he's going to think that, but everyone's thought that. And then it's funny that that's a good thing. I feel like he's sort of underestimated me in a sense, where I'm just a featherweight, a small featherweight. How am I going to be able to handle his strength? And you know what I mean? That's how he's looking at it, which is going to be a shock when we face off. Not face off when we're in that octagon. All week he might be looking at me thinking I'm small and all that type of stuff. But as soon as I'm in front of him, getting him uncomfortable on the feet, making him want to shoot desperately for a takedown because he's uncomfortable. Then when he tries to grab a hold of me, realizes, oh shit, this guy isn't as weak as I thought, struggles to get me down, or even if he does get me down, I get straight back up. Mentally, he's breaking. This stuff's going to get to him because this is not what he expected. He's like, how is this little fella doing this? And I guarantee you I will. So let's see how he deals with that. Look, everyone wants to talk about me dealing with him being able to take me down and all that. Trust me, I put myself in this position every camp. That's the whole point of my training, is make me uncomfortable, put me in the shittest positions you can. I ain't going to be fazed by it. I guarantee you I'm getting back up. Let's see how he deals with a short man getting back to his feet and punching him in the face. That's what I look forward to seeing. That's the question that I want to know. I want to see how easily he breaks when things don't go to plan.
Yeah, that's a fascinating sort of insight, because one of the things we were discussing with Beneil Dariush when he was on the show about Charles Oliveira is how emotional Charles was when he was going into that octagon with Islam. And how a lot of fighters, when they fight Islam, it's almost like they kind of break mentally sometimes before they fight him. And that's when some of the mistakes happen and he ends up winning. I wonder, like, apart from that mental toughness and being able to deal with those situations, what do you think you present that Islam's previous opponents just haven't been able to bring to the octagon with them?
Put it this way, I'm not going to stand in front of you. You know what I mean? You even getting takedowns or landing strikes on me. Again, I've got nothing but respect for Charles. If you listen to me before, every time I had conversations about this fight, I was saying that I thought Islam was going to win. People talking about the matchup with me and Charles, and like it's funny because a lot of people will forget like how his last fights went. You know what I mean? They forget how much he gets tagged in a sense. Like, you know what I mean? He stands in front. He might deliver some big shots, but he eats some big shots too because he's always there. So I'm like, man, that's like, I'm trying to explain to people. I go, you really think I ain't going to be able to like deal with that type of guy just standing right in front of me? I go, watch what I do to this guy. Like, you know what I mean? I was having these conversations with people. But so pretty much ready for me to expose him. And again, I don't mean any disrespect by this, but I feel like Islam even got to show a bit of that. Islam's not known for his striking, but literally you could just stand there, and if he's just going to run straight at you, put something in his face, you know he's going to be there. He might land one on you, but you know you can land on him, and that's how easy it is, because you know exactly where he's going to be that whole fight. He's going to be standing right in front of you, landing right in front of you. That's just how it is. But put it this way, with Islam, that ain't going to happen with me. I ain't going to just be standing in front of you. You are going to be trying to figure out a puzzle in front of you. The movement's going to be difficult. You're going to try and grab a leg and all that type of stuff. But again, you need to be in the right position to feel comfortable to shoot. And he won't feel that straight away. Then he's going to get a little more desperate to try and grab the legs and all that type. Again, this is stuff he hasn't had to deal with. No, like there's no way there's people that have a calculated footwork like I have that he's faced. There's no way. So I can't wait to put that puzzle in front of him, make him pay, get him uncomfortable. And then again, this small stature, this guy, you know, again, there's another thing, him calling me short. I don't think he realizes that helps me in a situation with someone like him. Let's be real. The size advantage and that, like, having that weight is obviously going to be a big factor. But me having this small stature, this stocky build, especially knowing how hard I am to hold down, is going to help me in this situation. This me being a short, stocky fella that I am, I'm very hard to hold down. Like if you get me down now that I'm going to be training a lot more takedowns, I'm going to be very hard to take down. Usually I don't have to worry about that. I know I'm going to get back up. I don't need to worry about that. Now I'm going to be focusing on that for the next 3 to 4 months. You know what I mean? And trust me, I'm going to be very, very, very hard to hold down. And that's something, again, that he hasn't really dealt with. So I'm looking forward to just seeing his face when he realizes, even when he's in a half-decent position, the control that he usually would be able to with guys with longer limbs and guys that are supposedly bigger than me, what he held with ease, and the struggle he's going to have with me. I can't wait to see his face. I love seeing people's face when I'm in front of them because, again, everyone thinks I'm small. Everyone thinks I'm short. Everyone thinks they've got me figured out. Give me 10 seconds in front of them, not even. I can look at their face and I can already see them puzzled and already like fidgety. I don't know the word I'm looking at. Uncomfortable. I see them uncomfortable within seconds. Within seconds. So I can't wait to see that in his face. Especially no one's like, going, I thought I was short. I thought it was going to be easy. What's going on? Why are you panicking? Why are you panic shooting? Why are you panicking when I come back to my feet? You're that worried? Like, I can't wait to see that and feel that because that's just going to give me energy, especially in front of a home crowd. Can't wait.
Did you see by any chance Khabib? Brett Okamoto did a great interview with Khabib after the fight. Did you see how he was basically laying out the exact game plan? Pretty much saying like what they're going to do and what you should train for. Did you see that by any chance?
I think I've seen a little bit of. I can't remember what he said, but yeah, like again, it's funny because I think they're the only guys that's ever just wrestled or something. You know what I mean? Like as if we haven't been training wrestling. Yeah, have I focused on that in my last few camps? No. Am I always wrestling? I'm always wrestling. But I mean, again, it's not a part of. I haven't needed to have that as a part of my game plan because I never have to worry about someone being able to like even shoot for the takedown, and if they do, I know I'm getting back up, so I didn't have to focus too much on it. So I'd focus on everything else. Where now I will focus on that. But again, mark my words, you are gonna see the same man on the feet as you always do in my last few fights. Don't think I'm gonna be worried about that takedown. I'm gonna train for that takedown. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get my instincts and my reactions on point. But I guarantee you, when I'm on my feet, I'm just focusing on landing big. Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. A lot of people that are going to fight him can't really let their hands go because they're so worried about taking them. That's not how I fight. I let my hands go and worry about it when they come into my hips. I'm going to have my hips on fire. Like, my hips are going to be powerful, strong, sharp. And then my scramble ability is going to be on point by then. So I'm going to worry about that when it happens. While I'm on my feet, I'm going to be worrying about putting hands on him and things like that. So you're going to see the sharpest Volkanovski you've seen on the feet. And then if I need to use the takedown defense and all that, which I'm sure he's going to shoot, and I'm sure I'm going to have to, you're going to see me scramble. And again, I could do that for days. Everyone knows I'm going to train hard. And the fact that I get a full camp and even time now, like I'm about to put a YouTube video sort of explaining this whole experience at Abu Dhabi, even with Islam. So if you want to check that out, that'll be coming out the next day or two. I really break down, sort of where I am with all this situation. Because, mate, I'm pumped. I really am. I literally got home from Abu Dhabi. When was it? On Tuesday. Tuesday. I got home on Tuesday morning, 14-hour flight. Jumped off the plane, had to go, 2-hour drive home. The kids were at school, so I didn't get to see them. So I'm I'm going to the gym. I went straight to the gym. I'm just fired up. Jet lag, you name it.
What a machine.
I'm going to the gym. Right now I'm fired up and, I can't wait. I'm already talking to my guys. All right, let's get this meal plan, our diet plan, our strength plan going. Let's get these wrestlers organized now. I want to be drilling everything all the way to this fight. I'm taking this serious. This is put a new fire in the belly oven. Again, you're gonna have to wait and see that video, because I really get into. I think it's this challenge and this new goal of this lightweight goal that's really fired me up and put this new fire in the belly. I haven't had it in a long time, I'll be honest. Even fighting, it's just, I don't know. I always thought that, I was fired up, but now I realize how much I wasn't fired up and how much I wasn't doing because of what I want to do now, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, I imagine the last time you would have had that.
It makes me feel like I half-assed everything else coming into this one. And I'm not known for half-assing it. We all know that. But put it this way, I'm taking it serious, and this is going to be, obviously the camp's still going to be 8 weeks, but everything starts here. You know what I mean? I want to be in the best based position I can be, specifically for this guy, as I can 8 weeks out, and then we're going to get ready for that fight. So if that makes sense. Obviously, fight-specific stuff 8 weeks out. Everything's going to be fight-specific, but obviously I'm going to drill things that need extra work, extra attention. I'm going to be doing that for the next 2 months. And then we know what my camps are like. So we know I'm going to be ready, fast, sharp. And I feel sorry for my training partners the next few months. Let's put it that way.
No, I'm sure they'll be happy to be making history with you. And by the way, I know that Dan Hooker and Brad Riddell know Islam well too, so it's going to be great for you to sort of work out with them. They have some great understandings about him as well. Just quickly, man, what about Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo, announced by Ariel? That's in the works as the co-main event for UFC Perth. I just want to get your quick reaction. How would you feel sharing a card with those guys, especially a guy in Cejudo who's sort of called you out more than anybody else in history?
Yeah, man. Did Ariel come up with that? Did he?
I don't think he came up with it, but he reported that it's in the works.
Yeah, he wouldn't put it out there if someone close to him didn't give him that information.
Yeah,
someone close to the sources. So that's good. That's this is what we want. The card's already going to be stacked, especially with the talent we have on our side of the world. We know a lot of them are going to be fighting. So the Aussie fans and everyone, the world is going to be in for a treat that day anyway. Put a card like that as well, a fight like that, I think that'd be big. So, that sounds great.
I think I know your trajectory and what you're looking at, but I have to ask anyway, if Cejudo can beat Aljamain Sterling, does that put him any closer to fighting you next by any chance?
Well, now you can at least take him serious, right? He's fighting. You know what I mean? He's doing something about it, not just hoping. Even though he's walking straight into a title, which I think he deserves in his division, because I remember he left that division the champ. So it makes sense to let him back in to fight for that belt. But I think that definitely can put him in a conversation. So that's the thing, right? I talked to my division. I know there's a couple of guys trying to do work, and they're good on them. But there's a couple of guys right at the top who are hoping an opportunity is going to be given to them. But just don't let anyone take it away from you. Learn from your champ. Don't let anyone take that opportunity away from you. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I love that. Learn from your champ. Hey, just quickly before we let you go, Alex, I know you got to get going. What's going on with that weird exchange between you and Conor McGregor on Twitter? What was that all about?
Mate, I'm always going to be playful with all the time. When people are going to carry on, usually I'm playful with it. Obviously, he had a shot at us, at me and Islam. So, again, and then I just, I've seen that and I thought I'll just just let him know. It's like on a former. Why I think that sort of was a good piece of wording there. Like former wise man once said, and just showing him that tweet that he tweet, because it's a true tweet. It's legit, and obviously he used to think like that. Now, he's everything. He was acting everything but that. You know what I mean? So I thought I'd pull him up on it. I don't know, maybe it was weird that I didn't expect his change of sort of a tone. Like all of a sudden, all good. I was like, oh shit, okay. I'm the friendly guy, so I'm just like, all right, yeah, sweet, all respect, no worries, brother. Like, you know what I mean? That's just how I am. You know what I mean? So it was a weird one for me, but again, like I was always playful with it. I just it might have been a little shot, but more just like, hey, keep an eye on the words you once said. Like, this is exactly what's happening right now. Maybe that was just like, maybe he had a couple of drinks and he was there. And then he woke up and be like, you know what? Yeah, he's probably right. And then he, maybe changed his tone a little bit. I don't know. But it was pretty weird. But, yeah. Don't mess with me on Twitter even now, you know what I mean? Like, I'm coming.
I think it's one of those things as well, right? Where it's almost like you're now in a position where he's looking at you as someone that he could potentially want to try and fight. And I'm just quickly wondering, how does it feel to be in that position now? Because, for the longest amount of time, he would only sort of focus on other people. And now you're one of these guys that is definitely on his radar, and he's almost, hoping that potentially he can work towards a fight towards you after his return, if you've got that lightweight belt especially.
Yeah, there's obviously been a couple of words here and there. Like every time I fight and something big happens, like you always, throw his 2 cents in. So there is maybe a little bit of history there. And again, right now he knows. I go and take that lightweight title. He knows he ain't fighting for the featherweight title. I go and take that lightweight title. He knows there's an opportunity there to, you know what I mean? Like, especially I've touched on the fact that he was a featherweight champ, you know what I mean? And he's the only other featherweight champ I haven't beaten. So there's I've touched on that a few times. So obviously that fight means something to me as well as obviously the money that's involved and all that type of stuff, and the whole circus around it, which would be entertaining and fun. I'd enjoy. All that type of stuff, it would be great. But I mean, there's still a deeper sort of meaning to that fight than just that. So that's something I think he knows that as well. So he knows, he's like, mate, this kid gets it. Maybe we could set something up, you know what I mean? Like, because again, he would love a chance at the title, which would be pretty hard coming off a few losses. But again, if there's a bit of history and there's something there, I'm sure the UFC will still push it.
Dude, I'd love to see it. Volko just dropping the bangers as far as big super fights. Speaking of not being here to take part, but being here to take over, Manscaped is taking over Australia just in time for the holidays. Super, super quickly. Their life-changing hygiene products are now available in all Woolworths stores all over Australia. Never forget, gifting Manscaped is the ultimate hack to becoming the family favorite. Number 1, make sure you swing by and pick up their signature lawnmower, the most brilliant ball trimmer to bless the motherland. The pound for pound greatest grooming tool. Join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, including us, by swinging their nuts, and swing into Woolworths to pick up the greatest grooming tool in the world. It's got the ceramic blade, the skin-safe technology, the LED light. It's waterproof. Mine just sits in the shower. It just hangs out whenever I need it. Balls, face, head, not in that order. And then when I'm done, I just chuck it on the wireless charging dock. It's 2022, but I'm living in 3022 with this kind of technology. Never cuts me and just does the job, man. Does the job nice and easy, and you move on with your life. Good for the confidence. I love having a freshly shaved sack, freshly shaved or trimmed face. And it just makes you smell fantastic with all the other hygiene products. Isn't that right, Dennis?
That's right, man. And if you can't make it out to a Woolworths, remember, you could go to Manscaped right now and use the code word submission for 20% off and free shipping today. Go get the job done with Manscaped, and now with Woolworths here if you're local in Australia. And also, guys, speaking of getting the job done, this weekend, Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. There's only one place to go to make some serious cash on that big boxing match, and that is with our friends at MyBookie, who are offering you a match 100%. Match bonus if you use the code word submission, all the way up to dollar for dollar, all the way up to $1,000. Just quickly, just having a look at the odds right now of the big matchup. But before it happens, Anderson Silva plus 140, Jake Paul minus 196. I wonder, where are you guys going to land with this one? Make sure to go to my book, use the code word submission, double that deposit, and make some serious cash this weekend.
That's right. And lastly, every week, man, I'm seeing all sorts of data breaches from massive companies. Oh, all your data's been taken. Protect your data, protect your credit card details, your personal information with a VPN like NordVPN, the greatest VPN in the world. So your internet service provider cannot see your data, steal your data. Trackers can't steal your data. All your details are protected with its threat protection. And also, the holidays are coming up. With a VPN, one touch of a button, your computer thinks you're in a different location in the world. We're in Australia, but bam, now we're in Germany. Now we're in Brazil. And you know the best thing? Things cost different in different countries, whether it's pay-per-views, whether it's flights, whether it's other streaming subscriptions. Every country has a different price. So if you make your computer think you're in maybe a smaller country with maybe a weaker currency, you can then pay that price for that, gift, streaming service, whatever. VPN is the way to go. If you're going to do it, NordVPN, number one. Isn't that right, Dennis?
Yeah, man. NordVPN.com/submission, or click the link in the description below. Get a massive discount off your NordVPN plan, plus 4 months off for free. 4 months for free now. It's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Sign up and try it for yourself today.
All right, Volko, I know you've got places to be, so just super quickly, I have to ask this. We have Beneil Dariush on the show the other day, and super nice guy. Beneil absolutely loves you. Couldn't say enough good things about you, about how good you are to his kids and family and etc. But he also he welcomes you into the division. But he also said his only concern is if you come in, maybe the divisions are going to be held up. He was saying how you would literally have to fight every 3 months to keep both divisions active. I am curious, as the champ, how would you handle something like this?
Okay, so let me ask you guys. You think I'd fight every 3 months?
I hope so. Be good. It'd be great to see that.
You think I could?
Of course, mate. Of course.
You think have I not proved that I would?
Yeah.
I just put myself in a position that I know no one else would. Not having the shot at him. It's just that's just how I am. I literally. Let's remember, 3 months after, I was willing to fight anybody, whoever I had to, on last weekend. After a surgery on my hand. How much more do I have to prove it? I'm not having a shot at Beneil. I actually like Beneil. Great dude, one of the nicest human beings you ever meet. Nothing but respect to him. He's in a great position, and I love what he's doing. He's even talking about, because I'm next, he'll go fight whoever else he can. Like, he could probably sit, if he's there, sidelines, I'll go take that belt. I'll tell him, hey, couple of months, let's do it. Where are we doing it? You know what I mean? Like, he'd rather fight. And I love that. And that makes me just, if he does fight on that card and I'd get that belt, I will fight him a couple of months after if I have to, because he deserves it. So, you know what I mean? And I'd rather not keep guys that are doing things like that waiting. If I'm going to keep anyone waiting, I'll keep the people that are waiting for a title shot. They can wait then. You know what I mean? Like, if you know what I'm trying to say there. So I don't want to hold up any divisions. But like I said, I feel like my division's holding me up. Otherwise, I would have fought already. You know what I mean? Even with a broken hand no longer, you'll be seeing me fight this year most likely. Obviously, they want me for that Aussie card, so that's why that was always going to put a spanner in the works and maybe slow things down for me. But I obviously had a broken hand. But I've proved that I'm going to be active. Like, I want to fight every few months. I didn't put myself in position to make sure I lock myself in for no reason. There's a reason. I don't want to wait around. I want to be active. I'm at my peak right now. The knowledge I have and everything else is firing, right? I'm literally at my peak physical position, mentally, physically, you name it. And everything is where it needs to be. And I don't want to waste 1 minute of it. So get me to work, even if it's two divisions. I'll defend both of them, and I guarantee you I'll be more active than most champs would in each division.
All right, well, we're going to get out of your hair, Volko, because I know you're super busy. Before Dennis wraps, I just got to say, this is phenomenal to see. Hey, man, Australia for so long, we had milestone events, but we also had the fight night cards. Thanks to you, your champion status, what you're doing for Aussie MMA, you are the one bringing sort of this fight here to Australia, making a milestone event. Vegas, New York. They've had so many milestone events. It's about time Australia gets a genuine super fight. And it's because of you. When you came to the UFC, you had to take a lightweight fight because the featherweight division was so full. That's what they told you. And now you have Khabib and the new lightweight champion chasing you in Australia, in your own backyard, for the hometown advantage that you've wanted for so long. And it is thanks to you. So massive kudos for Alex Volkanovski.
And going over there to take the fight last minute so you could secure the spot as well, which is awesome. Guys, make sure to follow the man at Alex Volkanovski. The new YouTube video is dropping in the next day or so where he's going to break down what really happened to UFC 280, his feelings about the fight. Make sure to subscribe to his channel, Alexander Volkanovski, and see all of the latest content and videos. Alex, we cannot wait for UFC Perth. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
I appreciate it, boys. I'm fired up. Let's go.
That's it. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.